Hello, Trash Lambo, welcome back! I see you showed up like you said you would. Hello, welcome! It's good to have you. Pokemon Sapphire! Do I have the dudes I wanted on my team? I do believe I do. And that means I'm just gonna jump right into it. That's gonna be fun. And... ooh, that's right, you have to pick. Fast. Sure, why not? Do I have all my settings correct? I don't feel like making a coffee post for this one. Yes, I have my low latency. My latency is correct. Chat is now live chat instead of top chat, so I can see what people are saying. Beep, beep, bop, beep, up, beep, boop, bop, bop. Hi! Yes, I am 15. Actually, probably a decent bit later. I probably should have scheduled for 8 instead of 7:45. I had to go eat dinner. So, because this has been part of a series, because I want to try completing the National Dex in Emerald, I have learned that the Johto starters are only available 2 ways in Gen 3, which are... I can't remember if it's Gale of Darkness or Coliseum, but you get 1 there, and you can get 1 by completing the Hoenn Dex in Emerald. Now, this means, to get all 3 of the Johto starters, I'm going to have to take, instead of, just calling my current, Emerald save a wash, it is... I am asleep. That's not good. I'm gonna have to complete the Hoenn Dex in my current Emerald save. So I started working on... ah, jeez. I started working on that off stream. Decent progress. There's... it's gonna be a little weird. But, it will involve some trading, so I have been poking around looking for a spare Game Boy, because, 2 Game Boys are in need for wireless connection. And I have only 1 of them. Yes, my mic is... the pop filter is like... it gets scooted around. Oh, I should have put Taki up front, because he's got Mach Punch. Oh well. I'll go pop in the accuracy room. But, yeah. So in order to do that, I'm going to need to get... I'm going to need to get all of the starters into that copy of Emerald. And I'm also going to need a Zangoose, which is exclusive to Ruby and Coliseum, I believe. I think I mentioned something about, like, a friend's Ruby cartridge. I still haven't contacted him about it. I'll do that later. I need an actual other Game Boy to do that first. So one of the things I did off-stream was I did a little bit of training. I ran back to Meteor Falls, and at Meteor Falls, I trained my Mightyena, Yeen, against some Lunatone. And the reason I did that is because, fucking the Jigglypuff line is in the Emerald Dex. And I went and got myself a Jigglypuff, but I didn't have any goddamn Moonstones. So I went, when I eventually get around to it, I am going to send a Moonstone over to Emerald so I can evolve the Jigglypuff. And I will just continue doing training for a bunch of other guys. It's a lot of preliminary, a lot of prep work kind of stuff. The plan, yes! The ultimate culmination of the plan is, the Emerald playthrough. So I think it actually wouldn't be, that inappropriate to play Emerald last out of all these. And then just, like, fully savor the experience. Just fucking do everything. Do all the side things. Actually make an attempt at... the, tip of my tongue. Battle Frontier. The fucking Battle Frontier. Because I never knew how to do that shit as a kid. Because you had to be, like, decently competitively viable. And, yeah. That'll be fun. Zangoose. This motherfucker. I wish I could have one. So, right now, in my head, the plan is this playthrough of Sapphire. And... too bad I can't steal it. Yeah, no, that's not until Colosseum and Gale of Darkness. Those are the Pokemon stealing games. Excuse me. Yeah, one of the whole, things about XD Gale of Darkness and Colosseum is that you're, like, you have a thing attached to your arm called the Snag Machine? I kind of want to fight all of the gym trainers before I fight my dad, just for EXP's sake, just for shits and giggles, you know? But yeah, Gale of Darkness and Colosseum are built around, stealing other people's Pokemon. Specifically, it's about stealing shadow Pokemon from criminals, and you are also a criminal. It's a very interesting story. A bunch of shit happens. There's some interesting things going on. Are we punching dads? Not yet. I am punching everyone else in my dad's gym before I go to punch my dad. And that's because I like EXP and every opportunity to get some. I think I might walk out and run, make a Pokemon Center run. Who's back through here? Are you this guy? Who are you? Zero direction. Defense room. A zero reduction room. Yes! Yes, I do! Actually, do I have any potions on hand? Oh yeah, I have a bunch of, like, bullshit items because, Zag is fucking insane. She has been filling my inventory with lots of useful shit. To the point where I've been, like, doing pickup in Emerald as well, and despite, my Linoon in that game, Socrates, being over twice Zag's level, he's picking up worse items than her. It's kind of funny. Zag is absolutely goated. She might not be very strong, at the moment, at least, but, she's helping out in other ways, and that's why I'm keeping her in my party, because this is... Pokemon very much, like, starts out as a very traditional JRPG, and sort of comes into its own and develops its own quirks as the series goes along. But I would say that Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire Red, and Leaf Green are far enough back in the timeline of the franchise that they have more classic RPG aspects than some of the later ones. And what could be here? Yeah, strength room. Sure, why not? Strength. Did I already fight you? No, I haven't. Enjoy lurking. Hell yeah. Levels, levels, levels! Ooh. That's not great. Oh no, I already fought this guy. I'm gonna run to the Pokemon Center before fighting my dad. And in we go. Da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da. I went through this room. I feel like I've probably exhausted all the gym trainers at this point. Yeah. That's it. Here's my dad. Do I want to lead with Taki or Yokozuna? I think I'm gonna lead with Yokozuna. Even though... Actually, there is a... Maybe not. Battle is a battle. I would do everything in my power as a gym leader to win. Better give it your best shot too, May. I don't know. I have Cookie Clicker open. Actually, I could mute desktop audio so that doesn't... Oh, he sends out Slacking first! Alright. Does Truant apply? Yes, it does! Fake Out was the right decision! Bye, bitch! Oh no, his Vigoroth is stronger! Because he has an underleveled Slacking! I guess it's just... Okay, so he has 2 Slackings and... Vigoroth. You know what? I'll let him focus punch me. Why not? Get bent! Farewell. You died as he lived. Not doing much. Yup. We are all Kirby fans in this house. There was definitely... Was it a Yeti? I think it might have been Yeti. And it was a fucking... It was exactly that. The Superstar Warrior. And it was... Oh, God damn it! I should have... Focus Punch overrides the fucking... It overrides Truant! God damn it. But yeah, there was a t-shirt from Yeti a while back that was like a scribble of anime DDD based on Cartoon Buffoon. It's great. It's great. I have it. It's a good shirt. Still seated, motherfucker! Oh, that's a lot of EXP. Yeah, I have a lot of nerd shirts from... Either from... Oh, we do have revives. From Yeti, from... Did I haven't gotten anything from Redbubble? I'm not... I don't think I've trusted Redbubble's quality before. Yeti shirts are limited time, but they tend to be very nice. They tend to be very, very comfy. I have a couple. I have a couple Magalore shirts from them, actually. I got the one where he's on a pile of gem apples. And there's the one, where it's him in his crowned forms. And I have one that's, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror theme that has Dark Mind on it. And the other 4 Kirbys. Yeti does good shirts! Na, 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 na. My dad only has 3 Pokemon like a fucking scrub! And of course, with a single bulk up, Falcon sweeps. Falcon kick! Thanks, Dad. So I spent more time kicking my dad than I did punching my dad. But, yeah, now we have the balance badge. Ooh, I'm a little flummy tonight, sorry. Oh yeah, I can surf now! That's right! Because the next gym leader would be in Fortree, which is Winona, the flying gym? Streamer abuses dad on stream. It's a friendly punch! Oh yes, Wally's parents came calling. They said they had something we wanted to give you. I wonder if that's HM Surf. Ah! My characteristic yelling has made me spit all over my screens. Again. Gently rub it off with my sleeve and save, because it's good to save aggressively and nervously. I guess I could just go to Wally's parents' house. Are you guys just here? Hell yeah! That should be surf. Even autosave games, I'm still manually saving off it. Yeah! Yeah. I've tried to break the habit of saving like 4 times in a row, but now that it's like in modern games, saving happens really fast, so I just do it anyway. Whereas it was a much slower process. Like a shockwave to... Or would it learn it naturally? Rice. Maybe. I should go to the Pokemon Center. Yokozuna's fainted. That's not good. Who should come with me on my adventure? I want to bring my Shedinja with me. Is it worth it bringing my Shedinja with me? Shedinja's whole gimmick is that the only thing that can hit it are super effective moves, but it only ever has 1 HP. Only ever. So any move is an insta-kill. And Bug Ghost has a decent number of weaknesses, so it's weak to... Bug has a decent number of weaknesses on its own. So Ghost would be... excuse me. Yeah, Darken Ghost, plus Rock, Fire, Flying... Does Focus Sash break it? I never actually looked that up. I remember, Pokemon RSE, Focus Sash, Shedinja. Okay, so Focus Sash guarantees that it can take a hit, but also I forgot that the Focus Sash is consumable, because it always is. Blech. Yeah, so Focus Sash isn't actually broken because it works the same as everyone else using Focus Sash. So, and you don't get Focus Sash until like late in the game. And with how time works, since I didn't replace a battery on this one, I need to ask my real dad about soldering. That's a whole process, and I don't want to fuck up my electronics too badly. Who do I want to bring with me? I'm feeling some kind of grass type. We have more dudes? We do. I forgot to name my Slugma Legma. I'm sorry. I promised I would do that, and then I didn't. I can bring my Anorith with me. I do like Flygon. Ooh, but I'm about to go surfing, which means I'm going to be very exposed to water types. Yeah, Focus Sash you don't pick up until Shoal Cave. And, I don't know if the clock in this game is set to high tide or low tide, but it would mean that, if it's high tide, it's never going down. But I think I vaguely recall, I don't remember if I don't remember if it's any good. I could start carrying Praxis with me. I'd also start carrying Jomon with me. I've very much grown to love Claydol over the years. I didn't really care for it as a kid, but I was a kid. And, like, now that I'm an adult, I like Claydol now, I guess! So I'm about it. Okay, so I can surf now. One of my favorite thing to do? Teach surf to my Linoon. It gives a unique bit of type coverage. And it helps consolidate HM moves even more. What are you holding? A rare candy! How nice. I'm gonna switch Rice up front, actually. Yeah, Focus Sash doesn't protect against weather. And weather is Gen 3's whole shtick. Like, that's why, like, the mascots are the weather trio. I'm gonna surf over here. Hell yeah. Surf! I fucking forgot! Poor Rice doesn't know any electric type moves yet, so it's pointless to put him up front. I get EXP share. Sorry, buddy. We'll just hope Tacky's? Tacky's a grass type. Water! I forgot Wingull was a thing. 17 isn't awful. I don't give enough of a shit. Hello! I guess I'll fight this guy. Sure. I'll do that. Fisherman Andrew. Oh, he's just a magic carp. Level 5? Come on. Baby numbers. I think the next major thing that's gonna happen is the Weather Institute, which is on the route on the way to Fortree, I believe. And there's like, they think you have a run-in with the evil team there. Give me your HP! Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's fucking things over there that I want. God damn it, I keep running into guys! That's fine. I'm fine. I'll make short work of this skitty. Punch! Oh, you just know a Metroid would learn Leech Life if it were a Pokemon. That's what it does! It leeches life! Okay, yeah. Yeah, the mushroom-shaped head kinda contributes to that. Metroids have that bulb shape to them. Instant death! Ah, not Thunder Wave. A little less so. Yeah, Curly from behind looks kind of weird in this game, so... I mean, anything with that kind of upward-facing half-circle could be in that shape if you squint. Metroids also have, like, they're transparent and you can see their insides. And they're red, and you could probably conflate Curly's horns with that. Thank you. I'm proud of my Poke names. Some are stupid and some are serious. And that is because I am taking this playthrough about 50% seriously. Oh shit, wait, Breloom has little red things on its head too. Punch! The power of punch compels you. Actually, is this Moville or does it come out? Yeah, it comes out at Route 110. I'm gonna go grab some of these berries. Guard spec. One of the things I would do as a kid to get around how limited ethers were, ethers and elixirs, because they're always super limited in the early Pokemon games, is I would farm Lepa berries like crazy, because they're functionally the same as, they're the berry form of an ether, but they're the only renewable resource that restores power points for Pokemon attacks. Berries! I could take the cycling road up, because I'm lazy. Yeah. Bing bong, bing bong, bing. I have a bicycle! Leave me alone! Ba-da-da-da. I'm gonna sneak up behind you like that. One of you fuckers gives me the good rod at some point. I don't know who, but someone does. Fisherman Dale! God damn it, I'm confused. Okay, spray painting Tentacool green is shiny. But what would putting it in a hydraulic press do? What would putting any jellyfish in a hydraulic press do? What a concerning train of thought I'm on. Huh. You just squish it down a little bit. They're mostly water, they'll be fine. So just squeeze all the water out. Lol. Weak. Pathetic. Ah. Gah. Gah. I mean, one would hope nobody puts... I mean, when you talk about animal ethics, at what point... Like, at what point does brainlessness count for a lack of suffering? I imagine they still have some kind of nervous system, just not, like, a centralized one, because they still need to be able to react to stimuli somehow. And also, I feel like putting a jellyfish in a hydraulic press is a waste of time. They did it in SpongeBob. That's right, they did! But that was unequivocally animal abuse. In the SpongeBob episode, yeah. Oh shit, yeah, we do the new Moville, side quest here. Cause they send you to New Moville, where you can catch Magnemite and Voltorb, and now you have a couple new electric types to take to the flying gym with you. I see, I get it. Thank you for the basement key! Thank you, Watson! I'm going to grab a ground type for this, actually. Now, the real question is, do I pick Jomon or Leo? Depends on who has Rock Tomb. You have Mud Slap. You have Mud Sport. That's not a damaging move. And you don't have anything! Poor thing! You have Dark type moves. You could hold your own against Psychic types or Ghost types, but also, Jomon it is, then. Forgive me, Praxis. I know I'm supposed to be bringing your friendship up so I can evolve you into Crobat someday, but... I'm gonna futz with item storage. What did I put in? I put in a regular... Yes, I have a potion. I'm gonna deposit... Moonstone. Yeah, I put a couple Moonstones in there, but one of them was the one I just found. The other I stole from... I stole it from a Lunatone. Oh, excuse me, goodness gracious. I need escape rope. Ethers are good to have. Burn heal. Guard spec. That actually is kind of useful. So I'm just gonna leave that there. Surf! Actually, I was going to ask you if you had a rod for me. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da. Thank you for the potion, Zag. In we go. Ah! Right out of the gate. Oh, that's right, because I traced static! And they're not immune to paralysis in this game. Are they ever immune to paralysis altogether, or was it just paralysis from electric-type moves? Because I recall being able to paralyze electric types using Body Slam, but I think that might have been ditched specifically in Pokemon Legends Arceus. But I do remember being able to paralyze electric types, and this makes sense. That I can do it with Body Slam and also Static in the Game Boy games. Jomon could use some regular EXP, so... Actually... Excuse me. Screech. That's not that much damage. His accuracy dropped. And I am also immune to electric type moves. That's right. Na 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 la 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 la. Yeah. Actually, since I'm here, this is what I want. I might actually go after Winona with more rock types. So I might... Oh, and he also knows Rock Tomb, so I could keep that. No, Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom! What about when I sing? Have you ever taken lessons? No, but I grew up with people who did. My immediate family, like all of us have pretty good voices, but only 2 of us got trained, and I am not one of them. But I do like singing, and my ability to, like, measure my own... I like music in general. My ability to measure my own tone might have something to do with my perfectionism. I don't know. I've always... I can't, like, pinpoint anything. If I did get lessons, I would get lessons for stuff like vocal control and how to protect my voice. Because I would like to, keep it for an extended period of time. And not, like, blow it out by the time I'm 50 or something. So, like, sometimes I'll drop into a vocal fry, which is when you talk, this is vocal fry. This is when you talk at the bottom of your register and it gets all, like, crackly and shit, and you're, like, I don't really know what, I think too much fry can be bad for your voice. So sometimes if my voice doesn't come through the mic all the way, but I, like, still, like, the tone of my voice just kinda goes wherever it feels like. When I'm talking, since Jomon cannot deal much damage, I'm going to give the EXP share back to Rice. And... Ah, goddammit! I beefed it! Yeah, I remember something about Fry just kind of, like, scraping up your vocal cords or something, and, like, it doesn't hurt in the moment, but, like, it's a compounding thing. It's just one of those things that builds up over years and years and years of doing it. Mach punch! So sometimes when my voice doesn't come through the mic, I will be speaking towards the bottom of my range, but, like, I'll, like, deliberately dance around Fry and I'll, like, make a sound that's kind of like this. Sorry. I lean away from the mic to burp. Punch. Yeah, so I am not a trained vocalist, but I mean, I'm a I fucking quit piano lessons when I was like 7 or 8 because, oh, excuse me, why am I yawning so much tonight? It's because I didn't get enough sleep last night, that's why. Stayed up too late reading fanfiction like an idiot. I completely lost my train of thought. It was about me. I'm bad at practicing things. I'm bad at practicing shit. Learning vocal techniques, like going to practices was like my least favorite part of like learning a thing. I very much like to learn at my own pace when it comes to extracurricular hobbies. And I'm a pretty decent artist. And the reason, oh god damn it keeps happening. The reason I am a pretty decent artist is because I like drawing, I think it's fun, and I just kept doing it. Ooh, do I wanna know counter? Headbutt counter. I'm gonna pass for now. Go with quitting piano at 7 or 8. Yeah, because I practice. Do I regret it? Not sure. I didn't enjoy the practice, but also I wish I had those skills. And it really might just be better for me to go and learn at my own pace. So I might pick it up again for myself. Because, like, between right now, like, and the time I quit piano, I started doing a whole bunch of shit in GarageBand. And just built up musical skills there. And, like, at the time it was difficult to convince myself to practice piano because I felt like I was doing it for kind of no reason. But, if I tackled it again now, it would be something I could work towards. Because I could because we're all like, there's enough music in this family. An escape rope, okay. That, we have a keyboard. Like a MIDI keyboard, an electronic piano. And if I had the right cables, I could hook that up to one of my computers, to my laptop, and, like, play notes directly into my software. And, like, now that I'm, like, invested in making shit in that software, and, like, feeling proud of my products like that, like, there's an end goal. So it's not just practicing piano for the sake of being a good piano player. Because I never really had the desire to be, like, a performance pianist. But, as a digital music producer, that skill set is useful. Very useful. The most useful, actually. Aha! It's a Volt Sword. You messed around in FL Studio, it's kind of fun. Yeah, that's how I got started! I was a 12-year-old fucking around in GarageBand. And GarageBand makes it easy because it's free. And it just comes with Mac OS, and we had a Mac desktop. And of course that influenced me into continuing to be a Mac user, because that particular music software is home to me. And it's an Apple exclusive. And, okay, so I understand, oh god, Mac. But, like, it's just kind of one of those things where the software you grow up with is always going to be home to you. So if it's Mac, you're gonna like Mac. If it's Windows, you're gonna like Windows. The fact that I like Mac, like, it is a Unix-based system. Oh, God, another burp hit me. I could probably get used to Linux pretty quickly. And I have, as I've gotten older, in the fucking, like, 21 to present range, only say that because you had a Mac from 2007 with 256 megabytes of RAM. Nah, dude. Nah, dog. Nah, when I said I'm, like, still use Apple, I have a personal laptop. It's a MacBook Pro that, and, like, I made sure I was like, please upgrade the RAM. I do not want 4, I want 8 gigabytes, please. And it's still starting to run up on its age. Not least because it is from the era when the anti-glare coating would delaminate and leave these gross spots on the screen. And as a notorious screen spitter honor, that was gonna come back to bite me eventually. But yeah, the idea is I want to use this MacBook until it, basically until it dies. I think I'm always gonna be like a 2-system user. I'm always going to have one Windows machine and one Apple machine. And I could, if I wanted to mess around with Linux, I'm not sure which machine I would do it on. Like, if I would make a partition, I don't know if I would, for Linux, I would probably do it on the Windows machine, actually. Because but I know how to partition my Mac. And I don't know that on my Windows machine. Because, the MacBook was all I had in college, but, there was software that I had to use for school, because I was a game dev major. And because of that, I had a lot of software that was Windows exclusive. So one of the things that I would do is that I had a small partition in my MacBook that ran Windows. I ran a student copy of Windows on, like, a little 40 gigabyte room on the inside of my hard drive. And yeah, virtual machine. Yeah, that makes sense, actually, learning Linux via a virtual machine. I cut myself off in the middle of a train of thought, but, like, I was mentioning, like, as I've gotten older, and, like, from age 21 to about present day, I've been getting more into, like, being a little bit techier. I've never been I've been, like, the usual level of computer literate for my generation. Maybe, like, intermediate, maybe a touch above. Like, maybe just the tiniest bit. But I'm not a computer scientist. I have no particular interest in being one. But I like the idea of... I like kind of, like, the smaller projects. I like web development. That's fun. I like being able to dig into the guts of my computer, but I don't feel like I want to have to customize it from the ground up. But also, like, thinking more about hardware has been, like, filtering into my brain. Not least because I've been getting into collecting retro hardware, and caring for retro hardware. Repairing it. There's just something, like, one time, like, it's like was it the first time? Would it have been the first time? It was years. And at some point, I just fucking went and, like, was it a 5-wing? There are specialty screwdrivers, because sometimes, proprietary hardware, like, Apple and Nintendo stuff, will have weird screws. So, Nintendo circa... Actually, hold on. I'm gonna grab my avatar's gonna freak out for a sec. Hold on. Maybe not freak out, but it's gonna freeze. I'm picking up my Nintendo Switch. Oh, I'm on the other side of my pop filter, so if my... Yeah, motherfucker! Nintendo is still using tri-wing screws! What do you know? So you have to get a tri-wing... If you want to, like, disassemble a Nintendo product, you have to have a tri-wing screwdriver. And I got one of those recently, because This very series. I've been meaning to, replace the batteries in Hoenn Game Boy cartridges. It's not super relevant for any other Game Boy cartridges, because the vast majority of Game Boy carts don't have batteries. Or the battery vibe would do in small projects as an ADHD lady. You get it! You fucking get it! You fucking get it! It's an ADHD thing. Jack of all trades. I get a passing interest in all sorts of little handicrafts. I like doing shit with my hands. I learned to, immediately after I got out of college, and, I kind of took the summer off, I learned to bake, and I learned to knit. I went full grandma for that summer. And, my most recent, I was going to put it off. I was putting it off until the spring, so, step on the switch, click, turn off the generator. But, I was putting off this spring because it would be warmer, and if I wanted to do this project, I would probably want to do it in parts of the house that are okay to get messy, which means parts of the house that aren't air-conditioned. Which means I don't want it to be too cold or too hot. But, paper making. I got a mold and decal, and cause it was also related, cause, recently we got the carpets replaced upstairs, and one of the things I was doing was just, we were going through old stuff and getting rid of it, and part of my going through old stuff was going through all of the fucking paper, fucking stacks of it, 5 inches thick, multiples of it, just binders and binders of old fucking homework from high school. Cause, I was a lot more digital in college. I did a lot of note-taking in word processors instead of paper. And that's because I think I was required to take paper notes in high school, and I do remember some lessons going too fast for me to keep up. I type faster than I write, and that is because I'm particular about my handwriting. I like it to be legible. It's not there are some things where my handwriting gets a little screwy. Sometimes when I do A's, I don't connect the top, and they wind up looking kind of like my U's a little bit. But yeah, it's a lot faster for me to tip-tap on my pooter than anything. And that's also why I prefer, when I write, prose and fiction, I like to do it on my computer. 'Cause my first brush with having a personal computer just to myself was middle school, because we had a school-issued personal laptop. They were these clunky, shitty fucking Dells, and they ran Windows 7. And I'm actually still pretty fond of Windows 7. I'm not sure if I should bother going back to it or not. But my current machine runs Windows 10, because that is what it came with. I'll be fine. Taki will be fine. We're on our way out. We'll just go to the fucking Pokemon Center. Actually, I can just leave. Maybe I could bother catching one for the fucking flying gym, but also, I, don't really give a shit. At least not right now. Windows 7, one of the things that was so charming about Windows 7 to me, so it's not really just about Windows 7. It was the entire culture that this specific school had around these specific computers. They were shitty fucking clunkers. People, these children tore these laptops apart. The plastic housing would come off. People's hinges, they would rip the screens off. The housing, the hinges were fucking awful. They would come loose all the fucking time. I think I hit my mic there, sorry. I'm gesticulating wildly while I'm talking about these middle school memories. But, one of the things that I would learn, it's, some of the things I would do, it was, my very own little, customizable personal space. And I really liked that, and it's kind of... Oh, yeah! computer body horror all the way in middle school. It was very common to see the plastic housing come off of the flip-up screens, and like a solid, I wouldn't say 50% of the, oh, I forgot, there's a rock star who wants to fight me. A good, maybe 30-ish, 35% of the kids at this school, a lot of them were boys, because you know how teenage boys are. That's just how it is. But, had the fucking plastic ripped all the way off, and you could just see the metal components underneath, and this was, like, and I took meticulous fucking care of this computer, and it still got a little fucky. And that's because, I wasn't very strong, and they make children carry too much weight in public schools, and these computers were heavy, so I would get in, I would, like, between walking to class, carrying my backpack with all my textbooks and shit in it, I would drop it on the floor, and so my computer eventually became, it was never as fucked up as the other kids, but, it eventually got a little fucky down in the corner, and it was probably the corner I kept dropping it on. Unfortunate. But, yeah, I have very vivid memories, from my grade school days of having to carry so much junk, especially in high school. My backpack was so fucking heavy in high school. I have vivid memories of getting these tiny, like, needle stabbing pains in my shoulders, and they would just come and go. Like, they were just there sometimes. And it wasn't always when I had something on my shoulders. It was usually when I, like, just at random when I was doing something else. Because when I was actually carrying the stuff in my backpack, there were times where, like, my shoulders hurt, or, like, my back hurt in a specific way, that I would carry my backpack in the front and, like, cradle it in my arms like a baby, just so I would have a little extra support and a little extra control of where it went. Because my shoulders were too tired that day. And there were classes where I had to bring whole textbooks with me. And sorry, I had another burp coming on and I didn't want to burp directly into the mic. But it's still there! Oh no! I'll be fine. If it comes later. If it comes out later, it comes out later. You can certainly criticize the concept of a paperless future, but, one of the good things about, like, making more files and homework digital is saving children's shoulders and backs. Like, that was probably not good for my body at the time. I don't think it stunted my growth. I think I was always doomed to be this short. Like, I have, like, a very... Oh, hi, Steven! I have pretty clear family members that I am descended from that I can point to and say, you are also short. I probably got this from you. But, it certainly fostered in me a hatred of carrying things, of too much weight. I do, like, I've always been... Steven? No, Steven is the name of the guy I'm talking to in the video game. It'd be nice to have a cat, but, I don't think I'm cut out for pet ownership just yet. The guy I'm talking to is Steven Stone. He's a champion. Bye, Steven! You just talked about Pokemon philosophy at me for a bit. Oh, you just tapped out? Yep. Sorry, it's pretty normal. I have been going on a rant about, like, general life shit. So for me to go, hi, person! And you're like, oh, that's obviously a real thing. Nope, it's in the video game. Easy mistake to make! I've done it when I watch streamers and YouTubers and shit. I don't believe in, like, total paperlessness, because I do think paper has its place. I have a lot of opinions about everything. That's one of the things I like to I like to... one of the things I can... It's something I can ramble about while I'm playing video games. I'm personally fond of paper because artist, and because of being an artist, like, throughout a period of my life before I had access to any hardware for digital art, I was exclusively sketching in pencil on paper. I carried a sketchbook with me everywhere. And paper's a lot harder to hack from across the country, for one. Yeah. So, like, there are pros and cons to both. And you can talk about the environmental aspects about it. Electricity use versus paper use. Paper can be recycled, and it can be recycled well. And, like, that's one of the things. I went through all my fucking paper, and I shredded it, and now I have, like, 4... I think it's more like 3.5, but I have, like, 3.5 trash bags worth of paper. And I want to turn it into new paper. Especially because it was the kind... A lot of it was... It'd be cool going forward if I would have, like, shit that's, like, sensitive documentation. Like, do I still have it? Fucking... Like, I have an EMS custom slip from... I ordered a Magalore cushion from a Japanese merchandise import site, and shipping's fucking insane. So I only do that very occasionally when I feel like treating myself. Customs forms and shipping documents like that have a lot of personal data on them. And this is like 4 sheets of paper. And normally that would just go in the shredder, and the shredded paper would go in the trash. But what if you take the shredded paper and make it into a new paper? And I also just have this fondness for paper products in general. Because not only do I, like to keep a sketchbook, I also like to keep a journal. And one of my favorite things about keeping a journal is the physicality of it. It is a hardcover book that I put my feelings into with a pencil. And yes, it would be, like, there's... It's nice when I have something to do that needs a lot of word fast, and digital word processing software is good to have for when the point is to get the words onto the page. But journal is more of like a mental health grounding activity for me, and the tactile experience of putting a pencil to paper is half of it for me. Like, flipping open a book and flipping the pages and drawing on them with graphite is, like, part of the I like things that feel nice. I'm a very tactile person. I like paper, I like journaling, I like drawing with traditional media, I like crafting things with my hands. That's why I got into knitting that one time. I knitted myself a scarf. Knitting is nice because it's very repetitive. I only ever learned, like, the basic bitch knit. Like, knit stitch, and I just did that over and over and over for hours on end with a couple different pieces of yarn, and I now have a scarf of my own creation in rainbow colors. So that's fun! And, like, hypothetically, if I had some big-ass needles and a whole bunch of, like, nice yarn, I could make a blankie. Long ago, left a toxic job, occasionally used a journal, but digitally took up drawing again on physical and always felt better drawing. Like, one of the things I would do when I was, like, younger, I don't do this as much anymore because lined journals... The reason I like lined journals is because my handwriting gets a little fucky when I don't have any lines to work on, but when I have lines to work with, I have exactly, an exact measurement of how tall my letters should be. So, because of that, my handwriting looks better in lined journals. But I tend to prefer drawing on blanker paper, unlined paper, whenever possible. But back in the day, there would be times where I would just, like, doodle shit in my journal, because I didn't have a sketchbook on hand. And now I tend to always have a sketchbook on hand, so... yeah. And the idea with me wanting to get into paper making It's like a recycling thing. I have a bunch of excess paper. It was going to go into the trash anyway. I like journals. I like sketchbooks. I like drawing on a nice piece of blank paper. What if I made myself some nice pieces of blank paper? It also used to prefer lined paper for drawing because it was easier to get started, but now I can agree blank is best. Blank is best, so there were times where lined paper was all I had access to, because like maybe it was a year where I didn't have a sketchbook, or maybe it wasn't art class that day and I wanted to minimize the amount of weight in my backpack. So I would draw on like a piece of line, or I was taking notes in some other class, and I wanted to draw on a lined piece of paper to just pass the time. And the gas is coming back to haunt me. I had ramen for dinner, and ramen can make me a little bit burpy sometimes. Falcon, help! The pride of it being your own creation. That's it! That's the thing! I am a slut for the feeling of accomplishment. It's why I like video games, and why I like art, and why I like all these fiddly little, like, dumb little handicrafts, because it makes me feel accomplished. Drawing, for me, has not only been about creativity, like, that's obvious. I see something in my head, I'll like, hey, I could make that exist. And I do make it exist, and it's not as great as I thought it would be, but it's something, and ramen is good if you use your own spices and stuff. I also have a specific fondness for this particular brand of, like, packaged ramen. I'd like to spice up ramen someday, but I wanted to have a lazy dinner. I didn't feel like putting much effort into it. Handicrafts. Putting a pencil to paper and just doing that. No, okay. Where was I going with this? It's instant gratification. In a video game, you push a button and something happens. And I was always fond of Pokemon. One, because I was raised on this shit. I grew up in the midst of my older brother's Pokemania. And excuse me. Was there a point to the Wingle house? I actually have no idea if there's a point to the Wingle house. I thought I vaguely recalled— ooh, berries! Are my dudes fucking dead? I think I have 2 fainted Pokemon on my team. No, Taki's just weak as fuck. The sense of accomplishment in a video game is like, button has an instant result, and also my favorite genre at the time, I've branched out since, but favorite genre was like Pokemon and JRPGs, and there were, like, you could do lots of little things that would build up into bigger and bigger and bigger accomplishments. And those bigger accomplishments can make you feel good about stuff. And I feel the same way about art. I put a single line on the page. Instant gratification. There is something— I did that. It's a line. It looks like shit, but I made it. And I can make it— I can unshit that line. I can add more lines to it. And then you build on it, and build on it, and build on it, and suddenly it's a complete sketch of something you had in your brain. Did you know— this is fucking bonkers to me. Okay, so there are some people who have a condition called aphantasia, and it is when you do not see anything in your mind's eye. So to the point where, like, you know how people will have, like, an interior experience, and they never have anyone else to contradict it, so they just assume that's normal for everyone. So, people with aphantasia will hear stuff about, like, the mind's eye and what it is, and they'll just assume that it's, like, metaphorical. Yep, that's it. Aphantasia. And, but they can't see stuff in their brain. They cannot visualize it, without seeing it. And I know— this is fucking bonkers to me. Several immensely talented artists that I know of have aphantasia. Artists that, including artists that I look up to, which is just, when I learned about it for the first time, it was just like, it reminded me of like, I mean, it's not exactly the same. To me, I have a very strong ability to visual. Is half having it a thing? Yes, half having it is a thing. So, aphantasia is like a total lack of it, and I think, I don't know if hyperphantasia is considered like a real condition, but I've heard some people refer to hyperphantasia as being able to like envision something in extremely realistic detail to the point where you could like produce a photograph in your brain or produce an image in your brain. Like, but a lot of when people first hear about aphantasia, they hear about it because like one of the things that goes around the internet is like picture an apple, and there's a chart that has different degrees of like it's a person's face or like it's a silhouette of a head in profile with an apple where the brain should be, and that's supposed to say this is what you see inside your brain depending on how strong your mind's eye is. And it'll have like a photograph, like a cutout photograph of an apple on one end and a blank space on the other end, and like in between they'll have like the number, let's say number 5 is the photo, let's say number 5 is the photo of the apple, and number 1 is the number 1 is the blank space. Number 2 would be like a blob of red and maybe like a little, like an impressionist, like a streak of green. And 3 would be like a cartoon. No, I think maybe, was it 4 that was a cartoon drawing of an apple? Hang on. I'm on my computer. I can literally look this shit up. Aphantasia apple chart. There's a fucking... Yeah! So it would have like a picture where it's like the outline of an apple, the vague impression of an apple, the silhouette of an apple. Gotta make this its own window. Actually, should I download it and put it into OBS? But it's like a cartoon drawing of an apple is 2, and then this chart has like so with the one tick over from the blank space is just a silhouette, and then the next tick over from that between the silhouette and the cartoon drawing is like it's like black and white, or like you can only kind of see the colors. So yeah, levels of different things, totally possible. You can have a moderately strong mind's eye, you can have a weak mind's eye. You could see extremely vivid pictures. You could see only like the vague idea of a picture. Something that you might not personally describe as a picture, but it's still like an impression of the thing. So you know what crayons look like when they're melted, but vaguely resemble the shape of something? Is that how you visualize things? That, but in motion, like acid trips in animation. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I've had some people say they have it's one of those things where you could probably say you have aphantasia even if you see, like, vague, blurry things. Because I've had some of the people discuss it where it's like, I can't envision colors, or I can only envision colors, or I can only envision motion, or just like, or they can, like, they have the idea of it in their head, but it is not a picture. It is the word, it is the concept, but it is not an image. And yeah, that's normal. I would say I have a pretty vivid mind's eye, but the fact that it's a mind's eye, that it's my mind's eye and not my actual eyes, means I feel like it's fundamentally going to be a little bit blurrier. Like, I feel like that's just a feature of... I can't close my eyes and literally see something, because you do not literally see something. It's a different kind of sense. Pokemon Rangers. I wanted to circle back to something that I mentioned earlier, but I've completely lost the thread, because I went off about aphantasia. I think it was this thing about, like, me feeling satisfaction about shit. And the reason I like to do creative things is that I like to feel good about it. And one of the reasons, yeah, now I'm remembering, I went off about aphantasia because it was completely, it was kind of an alien perspective to me at first, because one of the reasons I enjoyed drawing and wanted, and like continued to get better at drawing is because I had vague, like, sketchy impressions of pictures and scene ideas in my head that I want to put onto paper. And this is also true of my writing, because when I would read books, I would have an extremely vivid maybe not extremely vivid, but I would have a really vivid picture of what is going on in the book inside my head as I read it. So, like, my brain, like, one of the reasons I love reading so much is that my brain kind of illustrates what I'm reading as I go along. Oh, excuse me. Trying to minimize the gross. Blaze kick! But that also, like, compounded my respect for artists, like, because they were, like, creature artists, and, like, people who, with, like, super original, like, personal lore and shit, and I was like, how the fuck do you come up with the, like, I spent years and years doing cool shit, and making up cool shit in my head, and drawing that shit, and feeling proud of myself for it, and then I find someone else who does the same thing as me, or does a different thing, but is like me, or maybe it's better, or just, like, maybe it's, like, just so different from me and genre, that it's, like, not really comparable, but it's still really cool. And then I find out that they can't see things in their head, and I'm like, how? How did you come up with that if you didn't see it first? So I think that whole ability to, do that kind of stuff despite that is a really cool skill. Oh yeah, trusting the process. And I've heard that people would, like, get around this, get around aphantasia by, very much studying, like, the fundamentals of art, and doing a ton of studies, using a ton of references, and doing, like, a lot of, like, art research. And also fucking around and finding out. Making shit up as they go along. Drawing something, not knowing what it'll look like until it's drawn, and then deciding whether that's good after it's done, and redoing it if it's not. So yeah, trusting the process, pretty much. The process is a little different for them, because, like, I will draw because I'll, like, have a really specific thing in mind. And I'll be like, I want this pose, and I want it to be this character, and I want these kinds of shapes. And some people might not have that in mind until they have it already down on the paper. And, like, I have would I say decent experience? I have a little bit of experience of something like that. Involving just, like, deciding whether I liked something as I went along. Getting it down and realizing maybe it's not what I wanted, actually. Even though I put in the effort. That's just kind of how it goes with, creative things in general. And, over time, I have definitely developed more of a, silhouettes are good for that, but mostly starts out very fast and messy circle sketches and going from there. Yep. So my preferred way of doing things, I like to build using anatomy skeletons. And that's generally because, my artistic base is me mimicking the works I love, and that shit started with Pokémon. Little babby Zerks on the floor with crayons. Drawing Pokemon from generations 1 and 2. Shit like that. And, like, associated with that, how to draw sorts of books, and sort of taking the baseline, strategies from that. And so, in how to draw books, like, those use, like, I don't know if it's, like, exclusively Scholastic, but, maybe like stuff like how to draw Pokemon, books, how to draw animal, books, how to draw Zelda characters, books. I have like a shitty little paperback, how to draw Zelda characters, back from like the Ocarina of Time era, and it's the edges are all like banged up and it's kind of gross. And it would be like, start with these shapes. Like the way those books always were was, you have these shapes. Here are some very simple shapes. And it was always like, how to draw this. And it would be official, like an attempt at a recreation of the official art of something. And that was my first foray into actually learning how to draw shit. And ever since then, I've like leaned towards being more like of a cartoonist. So I would always start with like, usually my go-to is to start with a circle and then build out the anatomy of the character I'm drawing from there. So I'll do the circle, and I will decide what I want, which direction I want the head to face, and I'll do like a little, like, a 3D simulation of a cross, to get the perspective of which way the face is, facing, and sort of build out the facial features from there, and then, like, add the neck, go into the shoulders, I go down, like, I basically start from the head and move down the body. Or I move into the torso and then out. So I'll do, like, although I do tend, it depends on what kind of pose. If there's more dynamism in the legs, I'll tend to focus on the legs first. More in the arms, I'll start on the arms first. Sometimes I'll do the upper arms and the upper thighs before I do the forearms and the shins. Can I sleep in this bed? I can! Excellent, excellent, excellent. I start out as basically random. That's fair. I've developed that process just because, I guess just the circumstances of my life and how I learned how to do certain art things. Like, that's just what I knew, so I kept doing it. Started with hands a few times. Oh, that's ballsy. I always do shit like hands last. That's always have. Rice is up to level 21. That's actually not bad. I could probably afford... Who do I... Tetsuko's only level 12. I think I'm gonna put her in my party, and maybe... I'm sure you just gotta get the hands right. Yes! I understand just needing to get the hands right, but... Just godding. But, usually the pose and, like, the line of action of the entire rest of the body will help, is what I use. It's not really help, but it will help me decide, or entirely decide, what I want the hands to look like, what I think they should be doing. And because of that, that's why my, hands tend to come last. Because, the way the hands fall in my brain is, like, your extremities are extensions of every previous part that connects you. Where your arms fall is going to influence how your hands fall. And also a lot of it is expression. Gestures. What kind of pose would a person be in if they were feeling this emotion? I wanted to put you up front because there are poison types of foot, and if that means I can level up Andromeda a little more. Hands falling? That sounds kind of violent. I mean, if you're drawing... I don't know. I was trying to, like, I know that's a bit. I know that's a, I know we're just having a grand old time in chat, goofing off. But I also don't, I don't know how to yes and that, sorry. It's exactly. Tacky, please, come and get your ass out here and help. It's a Tropius. Yes, I was the homunculus puppet winks. Yes, indeed. I was just fucking around with my eyelids. Sometimes I notice myself, like, blinking one eye at a time, even though that blink was both eyes. And, sometimes I'll play it up by just, like, winking back and forth on purpose. And also I was testing it because, I think my eyes are backwards, so, like... Interesting, okay. Yeah, my eyes are rigged backwards, I think, from... what... Like, it's not a mirror image. And I did kind of, like, rig myself on purpose that way, but maybe I was thinking too hard, like, during the rigging process of, what I would look like from the front without being a mirror image, that I just kind of forgot that, a camera's probably just going to be a mirror image anyway. It's fine. It still gets the job done. I could fix it. I've never gotten around to fixing it and I don't feel like it, but that's fine. Oh yeah, Zag has something. Zag has something for us. These dudes go up to level 27, which is, dude tried rigging once and I couldn't figure it out. Yeah. My avatar is, like... the process was fuck around and find out. I had never used Live 2D before. I had a general idea of what it was. Screw you, these gross burps. Sorry. I knew it was the general principle of the whole thing was a digital equivalent of a paper doll, and it's like a rough simulation of 3D movement, and it involves layers. It's like taking, and I use a ton of layers in my digital art already, so breaking things up into like little layered pieces that could be moved around made sense to me. Also, I did do like a kind of morph puppet animation in college once anyway, so I had like, but I did it in After Effects, but it's same principle. You change the shape of a single PNG file, and that's how it moves, and like, it takes a long time to rig everything, like the hair on the back of my head has rotation, the bangs on the front of my head have rotation. When I look down, you can see the headphones, and that's because it, like, and I already had a rough, like, just from my general art experience, I had a rough idea of what I wanted the character to look like in 3 dimensions, so I was able to, used to use a lot of layers, but now I render in only one for at most. I can respect that. It's like painting on a canvas. Because in real life, the only the only layer you have to work on is the one. But yeah, live 2D and other, like, VTuber style rigging. Like, there are some cheats. Like, you'll notice, when I turn my head, sometimes, like, my, like, you'll see that, like, how my headphone kinda, like, it's not a smooth transition. Like, it's jumping from sprite to sprite, because that's the best way I could figure out how to, make that rotation work with this design. With what I had at the time, at least. I keep forgetting to take Zag's item. And also what influenced me, with the whole paper doll thing is that, certain bits, like, live 2D can be very finicky. And so I would do a lot of shit where I would go back and edit the art and then re-import it into live 2D after I had already rigged it, and obviously I couldn't change the shape that much. But if, like, I wanted to recolor something, what's up the Zag being goated with items? I don't know! I don't know why her drops are so fucking good. It's, like, pretty consistent, actually. I don't think Rice needs the EXP share right now. Rice is starting to get actual electric-type moves. I'm gonna give Tetsuko the EXP share, and I meant to hit switch. And also I had taken 3D modeling before doing my Life 2D avatar. Actually 3D modeling my whole avatar would have been a pain in the ass. I'd love to do a 3D model of Xerxes someday, but too many hobbies, too many ideas, never enough time in the day to do all of them. And my attention and interest in any one thing rapidly bounces around. So right now, I think it's a general win that I am continuing to stream after having put so much love into my avatar. Because if I wanted to put some more love into it, I can do it whenever I feel like I'm ready. God, I need to... See, one of the reasons I haven't gotten back into 3D modeling is because in school, I learned modeling in 3ds Max, which is... It's such an expensive program. And I want to switch to Blender, because Blender is free, and it's also very versatile, but the controls are completely fucking different. And at this point now, I'm so rusty that I imagine relearning the hotkeys would probably be about the same whether it's Blender or not. I just haven't really found myself, like, in the mood for it. Fun when I do it. Beep, beep, bop, boop, beep, bop, boop. And it's no... I think 3ds Max is an industry standard, at least, so it makes sense. Maya is also an industry standard. Now that I think about it, Maya is too. But Maya and 3ds Max are, like... cousin programs. I think 3ds Max is used more for games and Maya is used more for, like, film. Because Maya's more animation-y. Blender is an industry standard. Yeah, that makes sense. When people talk about industry standards, it tends to be the big fuck-off expensive corporate shit. And then it gets entrenched because that's what they teach in schools. But, there was a fucking cartoon. What was it called? It was based on, like, Mesoamerican legend. And I think it was, like, the pet project of a Mexican animator. What is it? It's on Netflix, and I remember seeing in the credits that it was done completely in Blender. And that was, like, that really charmed me because it had a lot of, like, really cool, animation effects and, like, framing effects. One of the things it would, I can't fucking, what is it? Netflix original animation. I cannot remember what it's called. Original animation. What's it called? It was about a fucking princess. Maya and the Three! There it is. I was just like, I looked up Netflix original animation. Mesoamerica. It's Maya and the Three. It's got a little, it's like... It's kind of like... kind of a mashup of the different Mesoamerican mythologies. It's more of like a loose, reimagining. But it's sort of... It's honestly kind of interesting how violent it could get at times. But, so it was definitely, like, an animation geared more towards, like, teenagers. But, there were some really slick... Like, one of the things it would do would be, like, frame. It would, like, use, letterboxing in creative ways. Especially if there would be, like, letterboxing and sometimes the characters would, like, pop out past it to sort of, frame the intensity of their actions more. It was really cool. It did some really cool, tips and tricks with that. Very stylish. And it was done entirely in Blender. And I was like, ah, shit, that's cool. I have Blender. I know how to 3D model. Maybe I should get off my ass and do it sometime. There are many things I need to get off my ass and do. To the point where I would get off my ass so much that I would get tired and need to sit back down again. I have way too many hobbies and not enough time to do any of them. But yes, I do need to learn Blender. That is on my, that is on my 5-year plan. Learn Blender. Do the Blender donut. That was actually one of the things. I want to, like, do more, art streams on this channel. And given my schedule, my schedule right now has generally benefited from the twice-a-week thing. Because I do sometimes need the weekend in the middle of the week to recharge. Good night, Earl. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. No. Thanks for hanging out at the stream. I hope you have a good sleep. I'm gonna continue having a good stream. Where was I on that tangent? The streaming twice a week schedule is good. I could get more stuff onto the... I have so many things that I'd like to do. Like, like, when so I was like, ah, yes, relearn Blender by making the Blender donut. And one of the ideas I had, like, a little mini-series, Zerks Makes, of, like, weird random handicrafts. And, like, more art streams, and just more fun, cool shit. It's not necessarily strictly gaming. But, I don't know. One of the reasons is that I had, like, a lot of ideas for this year specifically, because, it's 2023, a lot of good games came out, a lot of good nostalgic games from my childhood came out in 2003. So that, like, nice round 20-year anniversary is cool. Especially Kirby Air Ride. That was the first game I ever owned. That's slated for this summer. And so, like, that's why I'm not doing as much of these creative things, because the creative things I've been working on are the kind of stuff that I want to do off stream and, like, not feel bad about it. Stuff that I wouldn't feel bad about not sharing with y'all, because I'm just hanging out. But it's trying to find a decent balance of, like, content to personal projects to whatever, what have you. So yeah, this whole NatDex challenge is in celebration of the fact that Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire came out on March 19th, 2003 in America. It came out the year before in Japan, and that was before the global releases. That's before Pokemon did global releases. But Generation 3 of Pokemon was my first, and it's so fucking important to me. And I was like, I'm gonna fucking celebrate it by doing this thing. And so, because of that, I've basically already packed this entire year's schedule. And so that's why I'm delaying other creative endeavors that I would otherwise share on stream, to maybe later this year or next year. Q4 2023, Q1 2024. Because right now the plan... I did a poll. Super Mario RPG won the poll. So... oh yeah, there's always fan art. And that is one of the things I want to get back into. I want to draw more. And I can futz around on my own. And like, because I can draw on stream, but I don't have to... Everything I draw doesn't need to be on stream. And, like, I would technically never run out of things to draw, so if I drew something off stream, it's not like I'm taking away from the possibilities of what I could draw on stream. Like, that's just, like, I mean, you getting fan art. Aww, that's cute. That's sweet, thank you. There is always fan art. I could always do, like, a fan art sport light. But yeah, the schedule is kind of packed because I'm going to be doing this Generation 3 Nat Dex challenge probably all year. See, one of the things... Okay, so one of the hang-ups I had about that is Temtem. Temtem came out, like, 1.0, its official release, out of early access, last fall. And I own a copy of Temtem. And they're already doing, like, the competitive battle seasons and shit. But Temtem is one of those things that I'd like to play the single-player campaign on the channel. God damn it, stop dealing so much damage! Fucking Oddish is killing me. Okay. So I'm probably gonna keep doing the Pokemon thing. But, like, I'm not really sure how I want to shake that out. I don't know if I want to, like, interrupt the series and get the Temtem playthrough in this year and, like, alternate it out. Because I have no idea how long this whole, Gen 3, Nat Dex challenge will last. It started in March. It's April now. I expect Sapphire to carry me through until, like, the end of April. Maybe a little bit into May, depending on how much progress we make at a time. If I do enough, like, grinding and shit off stream, then, like, the major high points of the story will be, it'll be faster to get through them if I do all my grinding off stream. I probably won't do all my grinding off stream, because you just saw me doing some grinding just there. Oh, excuse me. I still got my ramen burps. I'm going to fight every single grunt in the room, in the building! No, I'm not going to quit meddling, Team Aqua. Beep, bop, 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 body, beep, bop, 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 body, beep, bop, 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 body. Disgusting. Disgusting! It's sounded more like a smirk than a burp. Sometimes my burps make weird noises. Especially if it's this fucking god-awful chain burp shit. Because it's just, like, sitting in there somewhere. But it won't come out all at once, because I'm not gonna bore you. I'm not gonna gross you out with the details. I do know that, Those kind of deep, full-throated burps that you recommend. Who recommends a burp? Jesus Christ. That you recognize as a burp. Like, that's like a one-and-done thing. You do it, and the gas is out of your face. And it's not in you anymore. And the reason it sounds like that is because there's more gas coming out, whereas this, it's like, fucking... Like, you know when you get, like, have, like, a balloon, and you, like, only let a little bit of the air out at a time, and it just kind of squeals awkwardly? It's kind of like that. But with your digestive tract. It's not pleasant. Least of all because it feels like it's constantly going to happen again. Unpleasant. Maybe I shouldn't have had ramen. It didn't actually taste that good to me tonight either. I just had it because it was easy. Rough skin. Oh, Taki's level 30. Getting Taki's level up is probably not all that useful because I'm going to immediately need to box her once we get to Fortree. But, she'll be good for, EXP sharing tests go up a bit in the meantime. What was I going on about? Blender? Personal skills? Fan art? Oh, now I remember. It was the whole schedule thing. 'Cause 2023, lots of good games came out, just like real star-studded lineup in 2003. Kirby Air Ride. So what I have slated is we've started we just started Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. We've started Pokemon Sapphire, so the Generation 3 Nat Dex is in full swing. Breathing it out is the thing once you figure out the feel. Like, yes! Yes, it is! That is how I have mastered the quiet burp. But also sometimes it's the kind of thing that just, like, refuses to cooperate. Pain in the ass. Where was I? Scheduling. I don't want to swap out to Andromeda. It'll probably kick her ass. I'll use Headbutt. Oh, okay. Let me do Mega Drain. So yeah, I've got a pretty packed schedule for this year already. Which is why I'm like, whenever I think about like new things to do on the channel, I'm like pushing them out until 2024, because for the rest of this year, we've got slated the rest of Superstar Saga, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, Beautiful Joe, Kirby Air Ride, Pokemon Coliseum, and XD Gale of Darkness, Leaf Green, finally the Emerald playthrough, I guess. I don't know if I should play both versions of the same game on the channel. I don't know if I should do Fire Red and Leaf Green, or if I should just do Leaf Green and then do Fire Red shit off screen, and then like, aha, look at me, I traded the version exclusives, here, take it out. Just check it out, guys. Check it out, I'm in the house like carpet. And then once Wind Waker rolls around, I'm gonna start a poll, cause, I probably should have done this. No, I didn't have a choice. I was about to say, maybe I should have decided to play the Superstar Saga remake instead. But then I remembered, I don't have a 3DS capture card. So the Game Boy version it was. But I have both versions of Wind Waker. And I can capture both versions of Wind Waker. So I am going to ask around. I was like, hey, do you want OG Wind Waker, or do you want Wind Waker HD on the Wii U? And we'll feel things out that way. But yeah, Kirby Air Ride this summer. Stay tuned. I don't know when this summer. Looking at its release date, it came out in July, so I'm thinking July. Was it July 13th, maybe? HD has wonderful quality of light changes. It's also fucking beautiful. I need to take his cast form. I need to go put something in a box. One of the reasons I wanted to do Wind Waker is because I have an unfinished Wind Waker file on my copy of Wind Waker HD. And so I figured, what better excuse to finish Wind Waker than to make it part of my big ol' celebration of 2003 games. Because one of the big reasons I got into streaming was forcing myself to play my backlog. And finishing Wind Waker is on my backlog. Rice. You are really fond of rice, aren't you? My Electric. Electric would make a good Beanie Baby. I can't walk past you. I can't talk to the dudes. I have been playing some Splatoon off stream, just in general over the past several months, but I really splooned myself out. I just kept going and going. I want Rice Bake on my team, because she's probably close-ish to evolving. I think Electric evolves at level 28-ish. Oh, Beanie Babies can be stuffed with rice. Yeah, a rice plushie. And also, Electric has that nice simple color palette and general long body plan that would make a very good floppy plush. Okay, so now... yeah. I think a rival fight is coming up. I think we're gonna bump into Brendan very soon. Yep, Brendan fight. Hi, Brendan! You only have... was that 3 Pokemon or 4? It wasn't many. Buddy, your Shroomish is overleveled. You could have evolved it by now. Dingus? Idiot? What, are you scared of the fighting type? Is it because I picked Blaziken? You have a Swampert, I assume. No reason to be scared of Blaziken and fighting types in general, because Blaziken is also a fire type, and you picked the water type starter. It's probably holding on for a specific move. Yeah. But that's what... I don't think that happens for level evolutions. I think when you hang on for a specific move... I mean, unless you're talking, like, pre-evolved Pokemon learn the same moves faster. But, hanging on to Pokemon tends to teach them new moves, especially in the older generations. That tends to be true for stone evolutions. So, back in the olden days, the stone evolutions had dog shit learn sets, and all of the good shit happened, like, up to, like, level 50 before they evolved. So you could have a level 24 Volt and level 24 Ninetales if you wanted, but it was much more economical to grind a Vulpix up to like level 45-ish, so you can get shit like Flamethrower and I think Confuse Ray, and depending on the going forward, like I know in Scarlet and Violet, and I think maybe in Sword and Shield, they started giving more, they started giving the, stone evolutions, more default moves, so you could go to the move tutor and you would have a lot more options to pick from, and a lot of those options would be things that used to be exclusive to their pre-evolutions. Hi, Ari. Is that an Ari I know? I know a couple Aris. But there are also, it could also just be another Ari entirely. Hello. Oh, it's still a Marsh Tomp. I have out-leveled you. I have surpassed you. Anyway, thanks for joining. My mic sensitivity is a little high, and my mic is a little close, so maybe I'm screaming into the mic. Just a bit. Bryn I shared link with. Oh, okay. Cool. I'm glad you're having fun. I'm glad my stream has been fun enough to justify sharing a link with. I appreciate the word-of-mouth exposure. We just beat Brendan. Ooh, what's that? Is that Fly? I think that's Fly. And we get... Yeah! So we get Fly from Brendan, and then we go beat Winona. And the gym badge will let us, actually start flying places. 'Cause... Oh, berries. I forgot. Ah, fuck! I forgot there was a ninja child protecting the berries. Momentary cookie clicker interlude. But not that much. Just a little bit. I'm gonna see if Andromeda can take a hit. If she can, we should be fine. Can I get a confusion off? Yes, she outspeeds. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Ha la 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 la. Ha la 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 la. Buddy. Yeah, you have two of them, because the ninjas are poison specialists. Like that. Scraped up my throat a little bit. Water time! Me putting my water bottle down on the desk peaks my mic severely. It was all red. That's not good. Buddy. Okay, now I can have the berries. Ari says you'll explode one day, and I hope it's true. One day. One day. Inshallah. Do I need to surf up there to... Yeah, that requires surf and waterfall and the acro bike. All at the same time. Okay. First, let's get into Fortree. Pop into the Pokemon Center. Laughs in Pokemon. Sword and Shield needing Surf and Bike. Yep, they just put it all together. There's, like, lots of little mobility things, in a Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Like, hang on, is it? these white things can only be crossed with the help of an acrobike. And they can, like, the mock bike can go onto him, because it's a bike, its bike wheels are slim enough to get onto it. But, the deal with that is... Oh shit, I forgot, there's a whole, like, Kecleon subquest. Okay, alright, neat. I should go to the Pokémon, actually. Zag has been pretty good at picking up the occasional Ultra Ball for me. But, the white things need Acrobike, because there'll be, like, ones next to it, and the Acrobike has, these, like, lateral jumps. And it can also do wheelies. And when you hold wheelies, this, like, jumps up rocks on Fiery Path. So, yeah, there's, like, little things like that. But I think... I can't remember if it was in Emerald, or if it's in all of the Hoenn games. But, that little side jump that the Acrobike can do, there are places in the Safari Zone. There's one area in the Safari Zone that's exclusively accessible that way. And, that's the only way you can get Heracross. Actually, if I'm gonna be bringing rock types to a flying type fight, getting Moonbase up to snuff might be what we want. Ah, but I need to keep Zag in my party! I want to keep Zag in my party so I can keep having items. And I want to get Andromeda's levels up. But she only knows Confusion! Confusion's a weak sauce move! That's right, I want to go to the Pokemon. I lean away from the mic to burp. Ultra Balls! Yes! Do I have any sellable things? Nah. Yes, that is a Chocolate Rain reference. Hello! Goldeen! I might also need to box Falcon for this fight. Because bringing a fighting type to a flying type gym is not wise. They say don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Whalmer! I was gonna see if I could crack my wrist into the microphone, but I hit the fucking pop filter instead, like a dummy! Beep, buddy. Ba 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 da. If you think Whalmer sounds hungry when it gets KO'd, you should listen to Whalelord. Ooh, rare candy. Candy! Let's see what I can find in the grass here. It's more fucking oddish. I mean, I guess I do need to train Andromeda, but they keep fucking kicking her ass! With acid! La, 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 la. La 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 da da na. Ha ba ba ba. That's a fucking Meryl. I guess there are more water types out here. La 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 rice. Local streamer turns into gremlin at the sight of a blue onion. Is Meryl onion shaped? I mean, I want to conflate. I mean, onions? Some onions are almost spherical, so I guess that counts in some cases. Oh, Oddish! That's right. I always thought of Oddish as more purple, but yeah, it is like a blue. It's like right in the spot that could be called either blue or purple, honestly. Not to mention that it can lean one way or another based on art style. Not to mention even further that art styles change between Pokemon games, and their colors are not necessarily standardized. Yeah, it is like blueberry color, but some blueberries are more purple than other blueberries. In my experience, the purple blueberries are just a bit more sour. So are the smaller ones. It's kind of I've had some experience where, like, so normally in my experience, blueberries are like, the fat blue ones are juicy and sweet. I've had a few odd experiences where the fat, juicy ones are a little bit more sour than I expected. So I don't think it's a hard and fast rule, unfortunately. But my favorite blueberries are the ones that are, like, fat, juicy, and sweet. So another fucking Kecleon! How many of there are? Yeah, I want the item. I just want the thing, please. I just want to have the thing! Blah! Hell yeah! I knew you could fight Absol on this route. I'm gonna send out Zag. Absol is definitely one of the peak designs in Gen 3. One of the really good ones. He's kicking my ass! Absolutely wrecking house with my face! La 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 da. Yeah! Outspeeds me even with quick attack. I don't think I'll be able to get a Thunder Wave off in time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw the ball. Ugh. Yes, use next Pokemon. Ding dong. Bing bong bong bing bong bing bong bing bong bong bing bing bong. I don't want to send out Rice because she's weak, and I worried that... Oh, no, yeah, she did. She did just faint. I was about to say, I got Rice mixed up with someone else in my party. Oops. Poor baby. I want to evolve her into a Manectric before we take on the gym. Please, just stay in the ball! Please. 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 Yeah! That's what I wanted to see! That's what I wanted to see! Your name is Yin. Because you got the whole yin-yang looking thing. You're a dark type. Yin is associated with female energies. You are a female Absol. It's all coming together. Bing bong bong bing bong. Bum 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 bum. Ba-dum-ba-dum. Yes, you have some for me. Nugget! Nugget! I'm going to go sell it, and I'm going to save. I don't know if I've saved in a while, but I'm going to save. Ba-da-ba-da. I felt a burp coming on, but I don't know if it's taking a sweet fucking time. I don't even know what the fuck that was. It just felt like nothing. I meant to sell! Ugh. All of my gas is caught in my throat. It is a very strange sensation. And I would prefer not to burp into the mic, because it's gross. Luckily, these are quieter and less annoying ones. Probably burped worse into the mic before, but still. I think I'm gonna see if I can meet some, maybe not super powerful Pokemon to train against, but... Ooh, a tentacle. Yeah, you're level 11! That's like nothing! Where do I get the good rod again? I feel like it's somewhere on this route. Because I think you get the super rod in Setopolis. Oh, that's right! Tetsuko still has the fucking EXP share! And level 11. Ooh, hello. Wingle. 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 Oh. Wingle. Wingle. You can go up to higher levels, though, which is good. You do outspeed me, but Wingle is very cute. Okay, so paralysis is going to give me less of a problem. You're not going to be as miserable to fight if I have you paralyzed. And also Constrict is a weak sauce move, so it's not like you're gonna... it's not like you're gonna constrict me to death. Actual seagulls can be a little meaner, and that's because they really want your french fries. If you've ever been on, like, a touristy kind of beach town, seagulls are absolutely everywhere. And they do not give a shit. They will walk away from you if you approach them. But, like, if you have food, they want it. So, it's kind of... Is there an item over here? Ooh, 30! Okay! See what kind of EXP you can give me. And with a double weakness... Ooh, one shot! Bingo, bongo, bingo, boop. What's this? Is there anything useful here that I can have? No items? Okay. There it is. A deeper burp. Hopefully that'll stop bothering me now. How much farther can I go down the river? Is there another waterfall down this way? Is this... Interesting, interesting, okay. Yeah! Items. I knew that patch of open grass was suspicious. Beep-ba-da-beep-ba-dee. Is this a suspicious patch of... I can always register the item finder and then just use it. What's the best ramen you've had and got a recipe, if any? I've never had, like, nice, actual, real ramen, unfortunately. So I cannot give any recommendations there. I am an uncultured swine. Alas. Alas, alas, alas and alack. Ooh. There's the item I was looking for. And there's several secret base, opportunities down here. Oh, a leaf stone. La, 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 la. One of these days, I need to go to, like, a nice-ish ramen joint. Sushi is good. I've had family, recommend poaching eggs in, like, packaged ramen just to spice it up a little bit. So, like, you bring it to a boil over the stove. And, like, as opposed to microwaving it, you actually go the full, like, stove method. Like you would be, like you're boiling water for pasta. And you put the ramen in, and you let that cook. But, like, you also, like, cook other stuff in there with it. Yeah. What Bing bong bong bing bong bing bong bing bong bong bing bing a bong. Rice is level 23 now. Crab or salmon, one of the two. Yeah. The ramen I usually stick to, like, Maruchan brand chicken ramen. Sometimes, like, Top Ramen tastes, like, a little stronger than Maruchan, but Maruchan was the brand I grew up with. So it's really kind of a top, but Top Ramen was more available to me in college. So, it's kind of a toss-up on which I prefer at any given moment. Although I tend to stick with the chicken flavor because beef is good too. I should probably try beef. One of the reasons I would, like... I know I should probably expand my horizons on that, but a lot of it is, like... A lot of the appeal of packaged ramen is how easy it is. Ooh, rice. And, like... When I want easy, I also don't want to, like, have to think about trying new flavors. So I could. Oh yeah, the money's not a problem. Like, ramen, packaged ramen is cheap as fuck. That's, like, the main appeal of it. That it's cheap as fuck. But, like, my concern is, when will I ever actually feel like setting aside the time to actually decide to try it? One of these, like, at some point, I would rather just, like, go to a nice-ish ramen joint at some point in my life. Bucket list. Taste what real ramen looks like. You probably get away with, like, putting chives in it. Or, like, onion. Maybe a little bit of leek. I'm confused. Oh, thank you, Rice. Good girl. Good doggy. But not a one-shot. That's okay? This one looks pretty exclusively tentacle. Oh, no, there were Wingle. So, I'd have to get lucky. Onion powder and ramen before microwaving. See, that sounds good! Onion, I wouldn't say garlic powder. I feel like garlic would go better. Like, I don't feel like a garlic... You can't really go wrong with garlic, but garlic reminds me more of, like, Italian cuisine. So, like, I'm not sure if it would, like, go well in Asian noodles. But, like, onion's fine. There's onions and onion-adjacent things, like leeks and chives and shit, in Asian food, so, like, the flavors already go together. But, when I think of, like, garlic powder, that's not something you put in ramen, that's something you put in spaghetti, which is also good. You could make, I mean, I'm not gonna stop you from putting garlic powder in your ramen. You can, you certainly may. Like, I've got nothing against experimentation, I just don't know if it's, like, typical. Listen, garlic is good. Garlic makes... Wario's right about something, and that's that garlic's fucking delicious. Should you eat cloves of it raw like he does? Probably not. I don't think I would recommend biting into a bulb of garlic like an apple. But, it's a good ingredient. It's good spice. Should probably learn to cook, like, more generally than just baking. I did make that pasta sauce that one time, but I had assistance, because I'm always constantly weirded out by my own potential shortcomings, and I'm, like, weird about wasting food. So it's, like, I guess, I don't know, maybe I'm a little more insecure about fucking up a recipe than I am about, like, fucking up a drawing, because I have an eraser, or fucking up, knitting, because I can, like, you can knit backwards until you get to that stitch, and then you, like, it's a pain in the ass, but you can just do it over again. Whereas, with food, if you fuck it up, it's just kind of fucked up. Cooked a bunch of stuff over the years and not really looked up a bunch of food tips, just guided myself based on flavor and usually works out well. See, like, I respect that. I tend to, like, my strategy would be to, like, start with the recipe and then, like, build on it for, like, just sort of use it to get your feet wet, get comfortable with it, shit like that. And, like, I got into baking pretty much exclusively with recipes because I am measuring out scratch ingredients. We had a bunch of shit in the pantry. We had, like, sugar, and cinnamon, and flour, and we had so much butter. And, like, I was just seeing that. I was like, we have all these fucking raw materials, and I want some goddamn cookies. So one day I just decided I'm gonna make some fucking cookies. I fucked up my first batch, so it was less cookie and more like, less of a cookie and more like a weird, like, crusty cinnamon crumble. It was still delicious. It was mostly like butter and sugar. It just didn't hold its shape, and it fell apart really easily. It was great over ice cream. But then I got it right the second time around. Things like garlic bread undershoot garlic a lot. It's easy to undershoot garlic. It is... Smell the garlic in the dough, you will barely taste it. Yep. That shit's gotta stink up your kitchen at least to some degree in order for it to make some good food. But, like, that's kind of the joy of cooking. Making something and then smelling it as it's cooking. The pasta sauce I mentioned earlier was a little touchy-feely because it was, like, a can of tomato sauce. And you just heat it up in a pan and stir it to keep it from burning. But, we would also do a couple other things, because the assistance I had was, I was cooking with my mom, and I was like, how do you do pasta sauce? And she likes to add another thing of, like, canned tomatoes, and, like, sort of cook those down to give a little more texture to the sauce, so it's not just, like, canned tomato sauce. We put beef in it, and we sliced up some black olives, and we put that in it, and we put it over spaghetti, and it was delicious! Because, like, you can't really go wrong with, like, putting some ground beef and some black olives, and in some pasta sauce. I also had, like, a bit of chopped garlic, stuff like that. Chopped garlic. Maybe, do we do onions? I can't remember if we did any onions. I feel like garlic would have been, like, the main kind of vegetable-y spice. And then we had, like, whole chunks of black olives. I could fucking eat black olives out of the can all day. I love that shit. The fruits and veggies you find in salsa also go well in pasta sauce. Chopped onions are a favorite. Yeah, see, I feel like salsa and spaghetti sauce are, like, distant cousins. they don't taste the same. They're obviously not exactly the same. And they're used for different purposes. But, like, they have the same base. They're both, like, a red sauce with a tomato base. And it's really just, like, a difference in with how much tomato is in it. Like, the spice, like, for me, the point of spelled salsa is, like, a little bit of a kick. So you have, like, a little bit of jalapeno. But, like, yeah, all the other vegetables, like, onions and shit, maybe, like, I don't know, like, cooked down sliced celery. I don't know. Because when I think salsa, I think of, like, Tex-Mex food. Which is delicious. I love to just pull a jar of salsa out of the fridge and eat chips out of the bag while dipping it in them. Like, when I say it was, like, same lineage, like, they're both tomato-based, but, like, pasta sauce is served hot over the pasta. And in my experience, at least, I mean, I think you can serve salsa at room temperature, but, like, we tend to refrigerate it. So I usually tend to be like, okay, the salsa is cold. And I actually kind of like it like that, because it's, like, the contrast between, like, the cold temperature and the hot spice is kind of interesting to me. And of course, it's usually, like, mild or something, because my fucking delicate white girl palate can't fucking... Ooh, a Pelipper! I have a moderately low spice tolerance. I can push it up occasionally, but it doesn't stay there. It doesn't stay there long. Pineapple juice mixed into pasta sauce sounds interesting, but done on a small scale to test. Well, if people can put pineapple on pizza and enjoy it, I don't think I would like that, but I understand why people would. Like if that's thing that's already something on a vaguely... You could probably get away with pineapple juice. Like a trace pineapple juice in pasta. Because, like, tomatoes are sugary. Tomatoes have sugar in them. There is a sweetness to them. And I don't think, like, the sugar of, like a splash of fruit juice like that. And, okay, so the deal with pineapples is, like, they have a kind of kick to their own, but it's not capsaicin. Is it capsaicin? I think it would be capsaicin. It's not the same spice as a pepper would give you. Or, like, paprika, or... Yeah, I think it's just pepper that does capsaicin. But, like, capsaicin is, like, a burn spice. Pineapple has, like, a tangy spice. And that is because pineapples have, like, an enzyme that can digest the inside of your mouth. So it's, like... Capsaicin is designed specifically to cause, like, trigger your pain receptors. And I think pineapple triggers your pain receptors incidentally, just because it has the enzyme in its juice that kind of, like, burns the inside of your mouth a little bit. But it's not, like, it's, like, a fundamentally different kind of spicy. Like, I wouldn't even call it spicy. It's just, like, a painful tang to it. I love pineapple, by the way. I can tolerate the painful tang. But that's what I'm getting at, is that kind of sharpness that pineapple has would go pretty decently in a sauce that's already meant to be maybe mildly spicy. That said, I don't, like, if it's a pasta sauce specifically, I don't know if it cooks out. You could, maybe. Pineapple is painful tangy? A little bit. Just, like, the barest, like, and it's also more noticeable, I think. Like, if you have, like, a slice of fresh pineapple and it's really ripe, I think it's going to be less painful tangy. But, like, if you eat, like, an entire, like, one of those, like, little plastic tubs of fresh pineapple that you can get at the grocery store, if you eat the whole thing, like, without, like, coming up for sips of water, your mouth will feel a little bit raw. And that's that's, like, the pineapple is, like, digesting the inside of your mouth, but just a little bit, so it's just, like a single, maybe, like, a couple cells off the inside of your cheeks. And it's probably more prominent when you have, like, a cut in your mouth. but it's like a fundamentally different kind of pain than like getting lemon juice in, what is it? I might be speaking out of my ass. I'm gonna go pineapple enzyme. Pineapple enzyme. Why does it do that? Pineapple enzyme that eats you. Thank you. What is that? Bromelain? Pineapple enzyme. That can break down proteins. The enzyme can digest the cells in your mouth. Okay, so bromelain does break down, like, the inside of your mouth just a little bit. And I think I don't know how, I imagine the quantity of the enzyme in different fruits, like, it's probably different for every fruit. Like, you know, not every fruit is going to be as sweet. I've had chunks of pineapple that were more tang, that had that more, like, painful tang, than it did sweet. And I've had chunks of pineapple that were, like, perfectly sweet, and the only tang was, like, the natural tang of the juice, and it wasn't, like, the burny tang. And one of the reasons this clicked with me. Do I have it? Fucking... Hold on. I have some pineapple berries. Check the tag. See? Check this shit out. Pineapple berries in Pokemon are based on the pineapple. And they have always been spicy and sour. And I never fully understood why the pineapple equivalent in Pokemon berries was listed as spicy. But, a while later, I had, like, stumbled across a thing on the internet about how pineapple has, like, the minor ability to break down proteins in your mouth. And then, since that, when I would, like, pay more attention when I was eating fresh pineapple, and then I would start to feel it. It's one of those things where you really don't notice it unless you know what to look for. And sometimes it's not there in certain chunks of fruit. Like, if it's a richer shade of yellow, and that means it's probably more ripe, and that means it's going to probably be more sweet than sour, in my experience. And that's with, like, grocery store pineapple chunks. Think about it, huh? Yeah, no, sometimes the pineapple chunks would just be like a parent getting a whole ass pineapple and chunking it with a knife. The fresh pineapple's good. God damn it, now I want some goddamn pineapple. And that reminds me of an extremely fun video that I saw years ago in high school of people testing the bite strength of two different kinds of snapping turtle. The common snapping turtle and the alligator snapping turtle, by making them bite a pineapple. Those pineapples are pretty fucking big, and so are snapping turtles. I saw one in a lake once. No, they have big old Bowser tails. They look like little turtle dragons. It's funky dudes. Closest thing to King Koopa you will ever see IRL. And these fucking turtles, like, when provoked with a pineapple, fucking destroyed that thing. It was cool to watch. Like, they would, like, snap and, like, crush the entire fucking thing in their face. And that is because snapping turtles have faces designed for death. Like any carnivorous animal, actually. Anything with fangs or an especially sharp beak technically has a face designed for death. Also, if you ever see a snapping turtle, like, out in the wild, do not fuck with it. They will take off fingers. Especially the common snapping turtle. Those are mean. The alligator snapping turtle is, like, it's bigger, it's scarier looking. It opens its mouth wider in weight, but it's more patient. Whereas the common snapper is just like bite, bite, chomp, chomp, kill, death, murder. And I think the common snapping turtle is called that because they are indeed more common. I don't actually know if the alligator snapper is endangered or if it's just like limited to certain parts of the world or something. I like turtles. I think they're cool. I like reptiles in general. You show me a cool lizard and I'll flip my shit. I saw it in an owl on vacation at the beach once. He was doing his little neck flappy thing. It was the pink, bright pink dewlap. It's cool. Nature's cool. Now hopefully I'll run into something slightly higher level. When do I want to stop? Because now I'm just, like, gotten into the groove of just grinding and also shooting the shit. When do I want to... I don't know what level I want to quit grinding rice and, like, go fight the Kecleon or not. I don't know. Because I want to evolve rice for the gym fight. But the levels of these wild Pokemon that I'm surfing are a little inconsistent, and it'd be nice if I could more consistently fight dudes that were at, like, level 25, so I could more consistently raise Rice's levels. But it might be a waste of time? Maybe? Komodo dragons are cool. I once saw them at an aquarium. There was an aquarium that had, like, they had some, like, terrestrial animal nature preserves. And they had, like, a big guy, and he had a name tag on his enclosure. And there was one of those things, they had, like, clear, like, plastic bubbles in the enclosure where you could, like, go down some steps and then, like, pop up and see him up close. It was interesting. Big fucking lizard. Huge motherfuckers. Almost as long as a car. I think I'm gonna go bully Steven for the Silk Scope. Up! A fucking what? What about it? The observation bubble in the Komodo Dragon exhibit? They were pretty chill. Dude, yeah, those motherfuckers were like 8 feet long. Absolutely massive sons of bitches. Komodo dragons are the biggest lizards in the world. Monitors in general are pretty big, but Komodos are the biggest of the monitor lizards. Why are you still missing, Falcon? God damn it! What did you get? Accuracy dropped or something? I can't remember. There we go. Now you're talking. Now we're talking. Excuse me. Beep bop bop. Who's the? I'm just gonna go ahead and fight this guy. Maybe switch out Rice for Andromeda? Question mark? I think I might, start to tone things down a little bit as well. Hi, Steven. Yes. Oh, this is the Devon scope. That's right. The Sylph scope is a Kanto thing. Hello, Kecleon. Can I catch this Kecleon? Maybe. Oh, jeez. Okay, just 2 hits. Damn, if I can't catch this one, or if I fuck it up, that just means I'll have to try with the other 2. God damn it! God damn it! May you clip some stuff from sometime from streams? Yes, absolutely! I'm gonna send out Tets. Ooh, no, actually. Might kick my ass. But you resist! Oh, fuck, you know, Psybeam. Oh, so you had Stab on, Okay, yeah, you can resist Fury Swipes just fine. It was the, boost you got from the Psychic type that made things a bigger problem. This is not going to work. This isn't gonna work at all. Anyone else want to try? I know he's a ground type, so if I switch out to Tacky... But if I use a grass type move, that might one-hit KO it. I'm confused. Turkey, please. I'm just gonna Leech Seed this bish. This bish. What if I just go for it anyway? Like, you're not ready to be caught yet, just yet? But, might be worth it to try my luck. It was worth it to try my luck. Happy boop. Nice. I feel inspired. His name is fucking Gex. I know he's a chameleon and not a gecko, but his name is fucking Gex. Thank you for the Devon scoop. Okay, bye, Steven. Oh, he flies. Nice. Beep ba ba boo. Average Gex enjoyer? I don't actually. I only know about. I mean, I know that Gex, the games, exist. I've never played them, and I'm not. I like the bit. I enjoy the bit. Nice. That's right. Absol's probably a good source of. I imagine there's decent enough games. Someone's got to remember them fondly. It's mostly like I just wasn't. It wasn't my childhood nostalgia, and like now that there are just so many fucking games to play all the time, that I'm not sure if I'm willing to invest the time and energy towards experiencing that. I've seen, like, I'm not sure if I would say I've seen a playthrough of it, like... But I've seen, like, bits of gameplay. Just kind of sit back a bit. Maybe you could bully me into streaming Gex someday. Who knows? Who knows? won't say it won't happen. But I also won't say it will happen either. I'm gonna leave it up in the air. I should probably give you the EXP share back. Should probably put my evolutionary stones in the box. But I'm not, like, out of space yet. I think I get more space. Taki might be useful to get up to snuff with the rest of the gang, actually. I'm gonna see if I can fight against more Absol. Because just leveling Falcon into the stratosphere is a classic young Pokemon player move. Only joke bully, of course, of course. That's my usual motto. When I say you're allowed to bully me into doing stuff, I usually mean that in, like, the funny, affectionate, joking way. Hop up, beep, hop up, beep, bop, boop. I'm gonna Mach punch that bitch. Ooh, Effect Spore. Put it to sleep. I know you can catch Surskit in this game. I think it's a Surf-only Pokemon. But now that I have Surf, I could go catch a Surskit. Oh, that's right. I wanted to fucking run around and see if I could fight any Absol. La 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 la. Surskit also cannot be found in Emerald. But I looked it up, and I mean, you can do it by mixing records and getting a swarm that way, which was, I don't think I remember doing swarms when I was little. Maybe I just didn't look at the TV enough. Surskit wasn't in Emerald. And also in Ruby and Sapphire, it is. It's like a 1% chance to encounter it on certain routes. And only surfing, but, like, it's worth a shot, and it's important for the it's in the Ho Index. It's something I'm gonna have to do. Meryl. Oh yeah, Masquerain is really pretty. Kind of a bummer it's so weak, because its design is very cool. La 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 la. Are you trying to get me to read your messages? Flawless Evo line? Oh, gun. As a response to me saying its stats are mid. Yeah, okay. Fair. That is what tier lists are for. So you can have fair matchups against other Pokemon. If Pokemon is of a specific BST, it's not immediately overshadowed by stuff that's objectively stronger than it. And some people will just use Pokemon regardless of their base stat totals anyway. Fucking Sajin Park won Worlds with a Pachirisu. Because he built that shit up into... Yeah, because it's a... Bug flying has a double weakness. Like, I just get... So it's really easy to get, like... For me, especially, to get disappointed when a really cool Pokemon design has a not great competitive viability. because then there's not as much reason to use it. And that's a bummer, because the design is cool. I feel that way about Masquerain. It's a very pretty Pokemon. I wish I could use it more. But trying to do so feels like just asking to lose. You know? I wish it didn't, but... eh. Da, 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 la, 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 la. A lot of Pokemon manage to be viable despite double weaknesses, like, Volcarona. But, that's usually because they have really good stats to counter it. And those really good stats tend to be attacking stats. Because an attacker... yeah, good bug Pokemon designs are, well, still bug type. Yup. There are some bug types that have done pretty well in, like, working their way up tier lists. Scolipede was OU for a while. And it took me pretty far in, a friendly tournament I had at college once. We did a tournament with, custom-built teams on Pokemon Showdown, and I had a gender-fluid Scolipede named Scolipendra, with Speed Boost, and I think Aqua Tail, Mega Horn, Poison Jab, and one more thing. And it very almost took me to the top. I almost won that tournament. The only thing that made me lose was that, my, Superior missed a Leaf Storm. And the, Mamoswine I was targeting with that Leaf Storm proceeded to sweep my whole team. You win some, you lose some. Bing. Gender fluid Scolipede? What makes you say that? I don't mind, just curious. So that's like a funny thing with Pokemon Showdown, is that it lets you like pick things. And for most Pokemon match, like for funs, like I picked out names. Like usually for Pokemon Showdown, like it's for competitive Pokemon matches and testing out competitive things. So stuff like gender and nickname doesn't really matter. And on Pokemon Showdown, if you don't select a gender, it's randomized. So depending on which fight I was in, Scolipendra would roll being male or female, basically on a coin flip. And since I had bothered to name all the dudes I was bringing into battle, I was like, fuck it, the bug is gender fluid, why not? It was just a fun little in-joke inside my own brain. So yeah, gender fluid because of the way Pokemon Showdown works. I'm not sure if there's anything else that can be randomized like that. I think it might just be gender, because gender is only relevant if you're running Pokemon with moves like Attract and Captivate and abilities like Rivalry. And yeah, this was some generations back. This might have been Gen 7-ish era, maybe even pre-Gen 7. So this was like maybe freshman year of high school, and I remember getting... not freshman year of high school, freshman year of college! It's freshman year of college, and I remember getting Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon during my early college days-ish. Yeah, ish. It might have been sophomore year, but I can't remember exactly. But, otherwise, like, most people don't run those kinds of moves, mostly because Attract can be kind of because competitive players... Skull appending doom. Yeah, kinda. That's what happens when you run speed boost. That motherfucker's fast. It outspeeds everything, especially once it starts to sweep. Oh, I think my fourth move was Swords Dance. Was it? Did I set up? It would make sense for me to set up, because it was a competitive context. But yeah, gender tends to be a non-issue in Pokemon competitive battles, because stuff like Captivate and Attract and Rivalry tends to be completely ignored. Scolipede is goated. Every single bug type in Gen 5 is goated. Gen 5 has some of the best bug types in the franchise. Oh, he runs. He runs away. Instead of making you fight another Kecleon. What kind of stuff do I have in my decks? Have I seen a Surskit before? I'm not going for dex completion in this file, just the other one. But, I think I might sign off here. It's getting kinda late on my end. I've streamed for a nice good 3-ish hours. I did some grinding. I did some story progress. We beat a gym. We've made it to the town of the next gym. I need to get Gen 5. Almost typed Scolipede, but I mean, yeah, I do need to get Scolipede. Yep, fair. Scolipede's good to have. I think it shows up in some later... Is it? I can't remember if it's in Gen 8 DLC or if it's in Gen 9. Can't remember. Well, yeah, if you have the generation you have has access to Scolipede, definitely recommend. And if you can get your hands on a copy of a Gen 5 game, good luck. I still have mine from launch. Never got rid of them. And now I won't, because they're too valuable. Good talks, good talks. Thanks for hanging out in chat. I really appreciate it. It's always fun to have someone to shoot the shit with and bounce off of. I think I'm gonna chill out for the night. Maybe grind a bit off stream. Get Rice's level up. Get Tetsuko's level up before we challenge the gym. Kinda like what I did with Taki and Yokozuna. So until then, I will see you on Friday for more Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. I'll see you next Monday for the 4-tree gym. Winona and her flying type team. Good night, everybody. And have a nice evening.